Hello, my name is Myra, and for today's video, I wanted to go ahead and do the newbie booktuber tag. Now, I just recently found out about this tag and I figured it was a really good idea and also pretty much necessary because I am a new booktuber. I can't really believe that I'm calling myself that because I haven't really been consistent. I started at the end of 2022. That's when I really had the idea of, you know what, this is something that I would really be interested in doing. But I haven't really had the best record of actually posting the way that I would want to. But I recently had an epiphany. I really want to give it my all. I really want to commit to this space. And so I figured this would be the much needed reset button that I need, and also an introduction to me and, you know, just a little bit about me coming into this booktube space. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right into the questions. Now I do have them here, so if you see me kind of look down, that's what I'm looking at. So the first one is, why did you start this channel? Now, truth be told, I've wanted to do YouTube for years. Like, I'm talking more than 10 years. Initially, I wanted to do like fashion and lifestyle because I did major in fashion design. But that didn't really work out. And there was a lot of things going on at the time. I was really insecure, and yeah, I basically never did it. And then I wanted to go the fitness route because I do really enjoy working out and I love fitness. However, that also ended up not really working out. And it wasn't until I discovered booktube in 2022 that I was like, wow, this is so awesome. And I just got hooked on watching all of my favorite booktubers, which I will mention below in the description. And it kind of gave me this idea of, you know what, I've been reading so much and I have things to say. I have opinions that I want to share. And that's where this idea came up of wanting to just do booktube and talk about books that I like, books that maybe I didn't really like, and just anything book related. So that's the reason why I started this channel. The second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to booktube? Now, I do hope to add a little bit of Mexican spice to the space. I want to hopefully have some fun, fresh content, along with honestly tags that are really fun and things that people like watching. I personally really love watching wrap-ups because I get a lot of ideas for books to read. I love watching specific trope videos because, again, ideas, if I'm in a specific mood, whether it's sports, romance, or mafia and stuff like that, I love reading those specific tropes. I love watching author interviews because I like knowing what goes on in their head. Hopefully one day we get to the place where I'm able to have an author on this channel and interview them and kind of get a little bit of like behind the scenes as to what, you know, they were thinking about when they brought the book to life. So that's what I'm hoping to bring to this space. I always want to keep things real. I want to keep it positive as well. Whether, you know, we read one book or 20 books in the month, I really want to keep it positive, keep it real. And yeah, that's really what I plan to contribute to this community. The third question is, what are you most excited for about this new channel? I honestly am just really excited to connect with fellow book lovers. I have always loved reading, and I didn't discover like adult romance until maybe like 2021. So I'm really excited about just, you know, bonding with other people that really love books, that love reading books, whether they love the same books that I do or they don't really like the books that I do. I still am really excited to, you know, connect with other people in the community. Now, the fourth one is, why do you love reading? I love being able to jump into different worlds, whether it's a mafia world, a fantasy world, a world of someone that had a totally different upbringing to me. I just love the idea of being able to escape. Now, I do love my life. I have my moments. Sometimes I have a great day. Sometimes the day is not so great. But I love the ability to be able to escape. So say I come home and I do work a, you know, 9 to 5, or I should say 8 to 4:30. So 8 to 5. And I love the idea of just being able to come home and unwind for the day, have dinner and stuff, and then maybe just escaping into a different world, just jumping straight in for, you know, an hour or two and being somewhere else. Like, that is like my escape. For me, reading is like watching a movie. Like, I can see it in my head, and so I love just being there, and I kind of feel like I'm watching everything around me happen while I'm reading. So I just love that feeling, and I've always loved that feeling. So that's really why I'm so passionate about like reading books and finding new books that I love. Next question is, what book or series got you into reading? As a teen, I loved The Hunger Games. I loved Twilight. Twilight probably started it for me, to be honest. When Twilight came up, big time Team Edward right here. So Twilight I really loved, and then I read The Hunger Games. I also read The Vampire Academy, and I think I might have read that around the same time that I read Twilight. So those books are really what got me into reading, besides the reading that I was doing at school and stuff like that. And so after that, I think as an adult, I started reading like 50 Shades of Grey, but then again, I didn't really find like the romance community until just more recently. But yeah, those are the books that really got me into reading as like a teen and like older person, you can say. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I would for sure ask like, what is your time, like what does your planning look like? Because that really is where I was struggling with this channel, and I kind of like, I'm trying not to beat myself up over it, because I feel like if I had been consistent since I started at the end of 2022, I would be in a different place now. I would maybe have met other people. I would maybe have had other opportunities, but the past is the past. So we're focusing on what we can control in the present. And so I would really like to see how they plan. I love watching Jess from Peace Love Books, and I know that her and Tori from A Novel Life have a podcast. And I did see that one of the things that she does is as soon as she records a video, she edits. And I think that that's honestly something that I'm gonna have to get in the habit of doing, is as soon as I'm done recording, I need to just edit the video, because that's my biggest problem. I recorded so many videos and I didn't post them. And then a month would pass and it's like, I can't post that anymore because I was a wrap up about that month. And yeah, so I kind of self-sabotaged a lot, procrastinated a lot, just because I was really insecure. And so that was like the one thing that I would want to see is like, what does your schedule look like? What do you do? How far ahead do you plan content? How far ahead do you record? Do you record and then edit right away? Like, what do you do? That would be the first question that I would ask. Now, the next question is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Again, for me, for sure, is time management. I haven't been the best, but that is something that I will work on, and that I've basically told myself, hey, I'm gonna have to do it. So that might mean as soon as I get home, once I like shower and have dinner, it might mean that I am reading a little bit less, but I'm gonna be editing a video or working on a thumbnail. So that definitely is a challenge that I think I will have for myself, is just time management. Besides that, it would really be like just dealing with insecurities. I think the biggest reason why I kind of was self-sabotaging is because I know that I really want to have this booktube community, and I really hope that it'll help like me grow, and that I'll connect with people, and that it'll open doors and other opportunities. But I think I want it so bad that I'm scared of failing. And besides being scared of failing, I'm also scared of wanting it so bad and kind of having that imposter syndrome where I feel like, what makes me good enough to do it? So again, it's my own insecurities, but I am gonna push through them, because I decided I want this more than the hold that my insecurities have over me. So that is why I am going full on ahead, and I'm gonna be working through my challenges, and I'm gonna be really open and honest about any challenge that I have. So again, keeping it real, and hopefully somebody out there is like me and can relate. Now, the next one is, when did you start reading? Realistically, I mean, I read a lot as a kid, whether it was like Clifford and Arthur and just a bunch of different books. But probably around 13, 14 years old is really when I started reading for myself. I remember going to the library, and when we first signed up for the library card, they had this rule of like, okay, you can only check out 5 books. And if you return them, I think on time like 3 different times, then you got an extension of like how many books you can check out. And I remember it jumped from 5 books to 15 books. And I remember that day I literally checked out 15 books. I was so excited that I was going to be able to have so many books. And I kept debating like, which one do I want to take now? And you know, which one am I going to come back for? So yeah, I started as a teen. I started pretty young. Where do you read? Literally at home, at work, you know, during my lunch period. In the car, I'll listen to an audiobook, or if I'm a passenger, I will read. Eventually I do get car sick, so yeah, that's the only conflict that I have there. But yeah, I read here at home, I read in bed, I read here on the couch, I read in my little reading nook area. So yeah, that's pretty much where I read, anywhere and anywhere. What kind of books do you like to read? Mainly romance, whether it's mafia romance, fantasy romance, billionaire romance, contemporary romance, small town romance, anything romance. I really like to read. If I see a blurb that just catches my attention, I pick it up and I read it. So yeah, romance is pretty much where it's at. Although in October, I did give a chance to like a thriller book, and then I ended up reading another thriller. Or I started a thriller, actually. I didn't finish it, but I ended up really liking it. It kind of like went with the mood. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe more thrillers are in my future, but for sure, romance, hands down. Now, the last question is, what does your book collection look like? I actually don't have as many books as somebody would think. I do mainly, like, all of my reading is on Kindle. So I do have a Kindle Unlimited membership, which I want to say is like $13 a month. So that's primarily where I do my reading. However, I have now started to collect more books. I will insert pictures here of like my little reading nook area where I have some of the series that I have collected on here, and I will also insert a picture here of my little like bookshelf, like where I have some books. I plan to grow it. Like literally my dream is to have just like my own library at my own home. So that is a dream of mine, but I want to have it filled with books that I've read and I've loved. Although I have started to buy books that I have yet to get to. Like I've had the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. I've had the first 2 books for maybe the past 2 months, and I haven't started them. So yeah, I definitely like have bought some books that I haven't started, but I plan to, again, just have my like full library with like all the books that I love and special editions of the books that I love. But yeah, that's definitely like goals for sure. But anyway, I really hope that you like this video. I really hope that you'll stick around. Again, I will be better about this. This is me like putting it out there. So it's like now I kind of like have to do it. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I will leave my Instagram down below. My Instagram, I don't want to just do it based on books. I do want to show a little bit of everything, a little bit of my daily life, because I still very much like fitness and I like fashion. So my Instagram will have a little bit of everything, but YouTube is where you'll be able to see everything book related. So if you do want to follow me on there though, I'll leave it down below in the description. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you will subscribe and stick around. And if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. But otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye.